Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a video on my Police collection. Now the Police are a band I've been listening to a lot recently, particularly this summer, and I've really grown to like them this year, so I just thought I'd do a quick collection video. I'll just go through the albums. First off, Outlandos d'Amour. Some really brilliant tracks on there, including one of my favourite Police songs ever, So Lonely. It's also got Roxanne on there, which was a hit single too. And of course, Can't Stand Losing You, another brilliant single. And as for the album tracks, they are pretty good on this album actually, because some of the later Police albums, the album tracks tend to decline in quality, but there's some decent ones on here. And it's got a nice collage on the back, including Sting in his outfit from when he was in Quadrophenia. Now here's another copy of the same album. This is just a bit of an upgrade copy. So that's the same thing there. However, there is one slight difference with this. This copy has a blue A&M on the label, whereas the copy I showed before that one has the regular sort of brown colour A&M. So shows you that they did a couple of different releases for this one. I'm not entirely sure which one comes before this. I suggest maybe the blue one, but who knows. Now for the Police second album, Regatta de Blanc. Now this was really kind of their breakthrough album in particular. I would say definitely the most well-known one. Now this has some truly amazing tracks. It's got Message in a Bottle, which was a massive hit for them. Walking on the Moon, again massive hit, #1. And a lot of great album tracks. Very few songs on here that aren't truly amazing. You know, this is by a mile the best thing they do for the rest of their career. I mean, the first album was really good, but I think this is just their absolute pinnacle here. And they're still on A&M at this point. Here it is. There we go. I honestly cannot stress enough how much I like that album. That is the album that got me into the Police, without doubt. So, if you haven't heard much of the Police, I would definitely recommend beginning with that album. Right, so now we've kind of moved on to the middle period of their career. Zenyatta Mondatta. This is their third album. I definitely wouldn't say it was as good as the previous two, but it's not the worst Police album. Let's have a look. And again, they've gone for the collage effect on the back and shows you the members of the band: Sting, Stuart Copeland and Andy Summers. And let's take a look at the tracks. Now, this album also has two brilliant singles on: Don't Stand So Close to Me, which was the first Police track I ever heard actually, and on side 2, Da Do 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 Da 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 Da. I've heard one or two people, say that's probably the Police's worst or weakest single. Although I disagree. I actually think it's a brilliant song. And the album tracks maybe aren't as good a quality as on the first two albums, but you still got one or two decent ones. Bombs Away I find quite catchy. And here's the inner sleeve. There's actually a custom inner sleeve now with this album, so that's good. Showing you just lots of pictures of the three members of the band. Now, although they are still on A&M Records, the Police now have their own kind of label design for everything they released. They've got their own customised label, which I think is really cool. The Police. So that's the label all subsequent Police releases will be on. Now the thing with the Police is, it was very clear who the genius of the band was, and that was of course Sting. You know, I mean, the other two, particularly Stuart Copeland, do write a few songs, although to be honest, they are usually not very good. Nope. You know, Sting was the one who was writing all the hits. He was the Police, really. Um, Although, however, that has kind of flawed his character a bit, you know, because he can be a bit of an idiot about it, to be honest. But, you know, that doesn't really matter to me. Anyway, here's their fourth studio album, Ghost in the Machine. In my opinion, that is probably their worst album. Despite the fact it's got 3 really good singles on. I don't know, it's probably just my least favourite album. I do like the cover though, actually. I find the cover quite interesting. Let's take a look at the back. Just black. Here's a track listen. Now, the first 3 songs on side 1 are all singles. Spirits in the Material World, great. Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, brilliant. Invisible Sun, good. However, once you get past those 3 singles, there's some less than brilliant tracks, particularly on side 2. But, you know, I suppose it just fills the album out a bit. And like I say, I wouldn't say it was like a bad album. I just, you know, there isn't all that much to it once you get past those three singles inside one. But you know, not every album can be brilliant. Well, depends which band you're talking about, I suppose. And of course, here's the Christmas sleeve for this album, which I do like the design of. Actually, it's like a circuit board or lots of computer machinery or something. There's the back. Now, this album does have its own little label here. Again, still part of A&M, but this is the Police's label for this album. It's got green numbers on one side, and it's got blue numbers on the other side there. So that's quite good. It's always interesting when they've done something with a label, even if it's just a little minor change, you know. I always just find that interesting. But I'd say the artwork about this album is more interesting than some of the material on it. And finally, the Police's last studio album, Synchronicity. Now, I have to say, this is a vast improvement on the previous 2 albums. I think this is the best thing they've done since Regatta de Blanc. I'd hesitate to say it was, you know, the best album, but I'll say it's definitely the best they've done since Regatta de Blanc. Really good. With the front cover, they've gone for the yellow, blue and red strips, which will crop up on later singles, which I'll be shown in this video. And it's blue, red and white on the back. Actually, I think the blue, red and white's the definitive colours for it. But anyway, you've just got one row devoted to Sting, one to Stuart Copeland, and one to Andy Summers, just some pictures and stuff. And here's a track listen down here. Now, this is one of those albums where one side's notably better than the other. And in my opinion, side 2 on this album is the best side by a mile. But I'll go through side 1 anyway. Now, you've got Synchronicity 1 and Synchronicity 2 on side 1. Now, Synchronicity 2, I believe, was the single, which is okay. Now, there are a couple of attempts on side 1 by the other 2 members of the band, Stuart Copeland and Andy Summers, to write some songs for the album. And those are My God... Sorry, no, the answer. Sorry, it's Mother and Miss Gradenko. One song by Summers, one song by Copeland. Neither of them are very good, to be honest, I've got to say. So yeah, that's side 1. It's okay, but much prefer side 2, which I'll come on to now. Side 2, you've got I know there's only 4 songs on side 2. I know the first 3 songs are definitely singles. Can't remember about Tea in the Sahara, but that is also a good song. But the first 3 songs on side 2 are astounding. Every Breath You Take, one of the Police's best songs ever. King of Pain, really like the sound effects in that. Really like the arrangement. It's also a good song. Wrapped Around Your Finger, another great song. So some hits there. Every Breath You Take was a massive hit. Wrapped Around Your Fingers did well as well. So yeah, this is very much a two-sided album. Now, what I find interesting about the design of this cover is that it's actually a top loader. So it just comes out the top like that. Now, side one of the album looks like this, and side two like this. And like I say, definitely a vast improvement on the previous two albums. Now, this was their last studio album, although they did go on to release a few singles after this. Although that kind of marked the end of their mainstream career, I think. Now, before I move on to the singles, I just want to quickly show this 12-inch single of The Police, Wrapped Around Your Finger. This is not sealed, it's just got some of the shrink wrap left on. It's a 4-track 12-inch single, actually. Includes a song called I Burn For You, which may be exclusive, I'm not entirely sure. And it's also got the classic 12-inch filler of a live version of a song, and in this case it's a Message in a Bottle. And the actual B-side is Someone to Talk To, which I believe is on the Synchronicity album. And here's the label on the classic red A&M label of the 80s.